This is update number 9 for my N-scale layout. You'll see that there are very few buildings on the layout this week. That's because I've mainly been working on the oil depot and on the track work. So I will show you what I've done. If you saw my update number 7, you saw this locomotive 70 Mack tumble off the layout when it tried to round this corner. Now I've replaced the switch in that corner and changed the configuration of the layout a little bit. So we're going to try that again and see what happens. You can see, makes it around nice and smoothly. Since this is probably one of my largest locomotives, pretty much any locomotive with the possible exception of 1 or 2 steam locomotives should make it around the layout just fine. I'm really happy with that. And that's that locomotive. The other thing I've done this week is I have done some work on my oil depot. You can see, I think, that I've got the access ladder and the railing and the walkway, and I've got some access hatches on the top, and I'm working on the piping down below. After I get the piping done, I'll still have to build a pump house and some kind of way to access the cars on the track. So there's still quite a bit of work to do on that. The other thing that I happened to remember was that I had a Challenger, which is a 4664 Union Pacific locomotive. So I managed to remember where I put it and got it out, and let's see. The reason that it's pausing there, and it may pause at other places, is because I've got some spots on my switches on the track where the track is a little bit uneven, and it's just enough to lift one side of the contact off the track, and the electrical contacts for these N-scale locomotives are so tiny that any bit of disturbance, so I still have to proof the track in a couple of spots and figure out exactly what the problem is. Sometimes that just involves running the locomotive around again and again and looking at it, see what it does, and trying to figure out what the problem is. So that'll be a challenge, but I am happy to see if this locomotive will run around the layout. As you can hear, that's a nice sound locomotive, and I believe that some of my other steam locomotives will also run on this layout if I should want to do that on occasion. So my plan for next week is to continue working on the oil depot and to try to get some of these bugs out of the track work and perfect that so that everything will run really smoothly.